Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Hello, Ashley.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How about you?
I'm doing really well as well. Girl, how was your Labor Day weekend?
It was good. I got a chance to spend time with family and friends. One of my friends had a housewarming brunch that I got a chance to go to. So, overall, it was nice. Did I get in the level of relaxation I planned to? No, but all good things. How about you?
I had a great time. We ventured up to Michigan to see family, and for me to see long lost friends. And I say that because I attended my high school reunion. I am keeping the year to myself because that is my business. But when I tell you, it's just crazy how time flies. And it was wonderful catching up with a lot of people I went to high school with. It's so funny. My best friend, Mike, he would always call me a social butterfly. And I felt like I actually understood it this time around because a lot of the people that did show, because it wasn't the full class at this point. And I only attended one event too, just to be fair. There were 3 events. It was a whole weekend, but I attended the sneaker ball. I get a chance to flow from group to group, but it was very much still high school though. I was like,
in terms of the cliques or
girl, yes. And I'm just like, this is crazy. We're in our 30s, but it is what it is. I'm glad I had the opportunity to go. I shout out to everybody who planned it because I felt like it was very thoughtful. The work they put in was a lot, and in trying to wrangle people at this part of our lives, I'm sure felt like trying to wrangle kittens. So we make it do what it do. And it was so funny because I was ready for the DJ to play all the songs from the year we graduated high school. But he was a great DJ. He was like mixing it up with like some of the old and some of the new. So I loved it.
Nice. I love sneaker balls. I haven't been to one yet, but just the concept I love. Because, as women, it sucks to have to be walking around and trying to do stuff in heels. Like, give me a sneaker ball for sure.
Especially if you want me to dance. I mean, of course, we were line dancing and everything. I still can't do that.
The
Tamia, thank you.
Same.
Girl,
I've practiced.
Girl, like I need a tutorial that's extra slow. And I get dances, okay? I do them well. But that one, it's the spin after the back and forth of the feet. You know what I mean?
It's like I need to learn the steps so that it becomes second nature. And I'm just not there where I can shut off my mind and my body just takes over. So that's when it still feels and looks awkward because you're like, I need the steps first. Then I can put a little zhuzh on it. So I'm with you. But I saw a white man on social media do it really, really well. And I literally put a little comment like, I'm so deeply offended now. The fact that he can still hit this better than me, I'm deeply offended. But good for you, sir.
Exactly.
Work in progress over here. Give me the regular electric slide and some of the other ones, and I can hit those. Okay.
Yeah, easy. Oh, and Wobble's also a personal fave. So, but Ashley, 300 episodes. We've been doing this thing for 300 episodes. How crazy is this?
It's very exciting. Like 300 feels significant in the podcasting world because plenty of people do, a few episodes or They do seasons. We have been going strong since 2020.
4 years going strong. You
Man,
know, there have been podcasts that have come and gone by big names. I'm talking to you, First Lady Michelle Obama, and the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. And those were highly produced, flashy podcasts, and they were fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, where y'all at now? Where y'all at?
yeah. Doing many other very importante
Of
things.
course,
But
exactly.
yeah, I
Being
mean, at
global
300,
diplomats, but
300 is absolutely significant. So I'm very excited and looking forward to more episodes along the way. But we just wanted to acknowledge the milestone for sure.
of course. And two things. Obviously, they're doing great things like giving speeches to the DNC and changing my life in the process. Uh, but being a podcaster, I've always felt like it's a marathon and not a sprint. So that's what I was alluding to.
Absolutely.
And the
Only getting
second,
better.
and
Only
that's
getting better and blacker.
that's my second point, where you think of being an expert taking 10,000 hours. And I'm like, we have definitely put in the hours if you think about producing, recording, editing um, this podcast. And so it is something I am proud of. I am proud of you, Ashley.
Okay,
Bravo.
girl.
And thank you all who have been with us since day one, and those who've recently joined us. So, welcome.
So glad that you're here today.
All right. So, we're going to get into our headlines and hot topics. Okay. So, this week was interesting. Um, there's not a lot of things going on in the pop culture streets. And you know what? That's okay. But the things we're going to talk about, I thought they were interesting. And so here we go. So the first thing we're going to talk about is I'm looking at USA Today. Jennifer Lopez addressed Ben Affleck's divorce with cryptic IG post. Quote, "Oh, it was a summer." Ashley, everybody knew this was going to get a lot of attention. She did a whole reel of, her looking cute, her writing inspirational quotes, like everything is unfolding in divine order. I mean, her being beautiful and being social and having her children and her lives and the dog. And this is significant because on August 20th, she filed for divorce. And we talked about this last week on their second marriage, second wedding anniversary to Ben Affleck. So, Ashley, do you feel like this post is her bat signal that's like, I'm single, ready for my fifth husband?
I mean, does she need a bat signal? Like, we know she about to be booed up in, 99 seconds. If that. J-Lo never stays single for long. And everybody knows and has seen all the headlines. I think this is more just about her own probably self-esteem and self-motivation right now more than anything. Because again, she can post what she wants. We know she's heartbroken. Like, how can you not be, So think she's just doing what a lot of people do when they break up with somebody, which is I'm gonna take some vacations. I'm gonna look my best. I'm gonna try to live my best life because you have to move through, the emotions of the situation, hopefully come out on the other side.
Yeah, she doesn't want him seeing her sweat, right? Whereas the only pictures we've seen of him is with Dunkin' Donut coffee and packages of what is the food service that people get,
DoorDash?
Ashley? DoorDash. Like the only time I feel like I've seen him has been through freaking DoorDash Paps. So
I wonder how the kids are doing. That's one of the
yeah,
questions I always have. Like, y'all got to see these folks come and go in y'all lives. Are you attached to them? Are you sad that the marriages have ended? Like, how do the kids feel? Or are they like, that's not my life. That's mom's life. That's dad's life.
but I mean, I feel like I feel like it's impossible for a parent to have, live their lives and their activities not impact their kids in one way or another, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they'll give their side of the story in a tell-all book in like 15 years. So
Right.
Mommy Dearest. No, I'm not calling J Lo that, but that's like one of the most famous,
Ooh. Yeah.
famous child's book.
No wire hangers.
Hangers.
My God.
Let's go to our next headline. This is just petty and it just made me giggle in the middle of the day. So I just want to talk about it. I'm looking at page 6. Annoyed, Anna Wintour calls out Naomi Campbell for being late to NYC Fashion Award. Supermodel hits back during speech. So Anna Wintour was on stage and said that Naomi Campbell was often late to awards because I guess she was supposed to present her with an award. She's like, I am a very punctual person, and I have the honor of presenting tonight to someone who is often late. And the crowd giggles. I guess TMZ reported that Wintour was so annoyed with Campbell's tardiness that she actually left the event after her speech wrapped. And the editor-in-chief for Harper Bazaar was the one that ultimately gave Naomi her award. And Naomi, when accepting her award, said, it was so important that I'm here today and I'm honored to be here in Harlem. Everything's going to work out the way it's going to work out. It wasn't my choice to have the other woman, she said, referring to Anna Wintour. We are talking about moguls in the fashion world. I mean, Anna Wintour is Anna Wintour, okay, editor-in-chief of Vogue for years. She is the tastemaker in the fashion world. Although Edward had her Ilfield, I want to say his last name was. British Vogue was everything. I was so sad when he stepped down, and I really hoped that he would replace Anna. But anyway, and Naomi Campbell is Naomi Campbell, the supermodel, one of the supermodels. Do you feel like this is just old beef that's just so happened to get public attention, or do you think this will impact Naomi's ability to do things in American Vogue in the future?
I don't think it's going to have any type of lasting impact. These little petty squabbles are probably, another Wednesday for them. I mean, people have personalities, people have conflict. It happens. I think what's more funny is that, people take it so seriously, I guess, because it's like, Naomi has been known over the years to not really mince words when it comes to how she has felt about certain things or how she behaves in certain
Naomi,
situations.
in my opinion, has always been nuck if you buck. Like,
Yeah, she's gonna let you know how she's feeling. And I mean, Anna Wintour, the position she's been in and all of that, sure, she's inclined to say what she thinks too. But these were the Harlem Fashion
yes,
Awards.
it
So
was.
don't come in my space, Anna, and talk shit.
Woo, and try to talk sugar honey iced tea.
This is
That
my
was,
stage.
yep, yep.
Okay. So in that case, what Naomi said is funnier because she's like, I'd much rather have the lady of color deliver
Yep.
my award at the Harlem Awards. So there you go.
Touche. Yeah, this is Fashion Rose Fashion Show and Style Awards. And so, yeah. That tickled me just a bit. All right, let's move on to our hot topic. All right, Ashley. So our hot topic is one theme with multiple items under it. It is TV. We got a little bit of reality TV, a little bit of scripted TV. A lot is going on this week with announcing new television shows, and I want to talk about it. So, People.com has Tia Mowry teases, quote, what really happened in Corey Hardrick's divorce and her dating journey in My Next Act. Tia has a freaking reality TV show again, and it's going to be on WeTV. First of all, I saw the trailer to this and I'm invested. The problem is, I ain't got no cable. Like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to watch this, Ashley?
Right, right.
And I really am curious if she's going to be transparent about her breakup, because in the trailer, she does speak to never having to date and Corey being her one and only her entire life. And so I don't know. There's, of course, some tears, and there's, of course, scenes of her being a mom and her having famous friends like the Jack Kay, who played her mom on Sister Sister. But I did not see Tamara. So I'm wondering if we're going to get, I hope we get some um, screen time with Sister.
Yeah.
Ashley, are you going to watch? You think she's going to really tell us, give us tea, or no, not really? Is WeTV?
Well, girl, I don't have cable either. So if we figure out a friend who has some, maybe we can go watch it over there. Make it a date. But do I think she's really gonna spill the tea? I mean, it depends. The phase of life Tia is in right now, I've never seen her in. So
Yeah.
what this means for her in this show compared to the one that her and Tamara did previously, I don't know. Because I remember one of the reasons why they said they stopped doing that show is because they felt like that it was inciting issues
Yes.
between them that was
Correct.
unnecessary just for drama for the show, right?
And they didn't want to do that for the sake of the relationship.
And so, Tia doing this on her own. I love Tia. I love her social media presence. I love her dancing. I love her stories about dating. So if this is the culmination of like that vibe, I'm here for it. I don't even know at this point if I really need any of the details about what happened with Corey, because part of me feels like they seem to have such a great co-parenting relationship. I don't want anything to come out and then sour their relationship or like probably just let's let that be. It's probably one of those relationships that just they've been together for so long it ran its course, and let that be what it is, at least in terms of public perception, because he said he didn't cheat. It was none of those things, right? So but for sure, if it's like fun, because I mean, Tia is fun. Like
she is.
Her laugh, everything. So if it's that type of vibe, if we get to see her with her girlfriends, if we get to see her, misadventures in the dating world, all these things, oh, I'm absolutely here for it.
Yeah, like I said, for those who may not know, I consider myself the third twin. Yes, I know that doesn't make any sense, but we all share same birthday. And I'm always invested when the Mowrys are doing something. What was funny? The reality show that she had with her sister previously, my mom and sister didn't like Tia after it. They felt like she was too mean to Tamara. And for me, I guess I just think they were different people. I feel like Tamara was just very much a soft, like, soul, you know what I mean? And Tia's like, you got to make stuff happen. Like, I feel like their philosophies in life were different. Tamara was like, everything happens for a reason. And Tia was like, we're going to make this reason happen. Like,
Remember, I think they said years ago that they were the opposites of their sister characters in real life in terms of their personalities and stuff. And I think you got to see that on full display. I love both of them, but I definitely think there are differences. You can even see the differences in how their families are and the stuff that they post and the stuff they invest in, all of that. I mean, they are twins, but they personality wise very much diverge, right?
They are individuals.
And that is totally fine. Like I didn't have any issues with Tia after the show, because at the end of the day too, that's her sister. So the way she talks and treats her sister and her twin at that is going to be a little bit different, but they both are sweethearts as far as I'm concerned. So
same. Tia Mowry, my next act premieres on Friday, October 4th on WeTV.
Y'all got cable? Drop us a line.
Ashley, did you ever get swept up in the "Who the fuck did I marry" saga
Well, remember
on
we talked
TikTok?
about it, but I'd never watched it. Like I caught the highlights of what the story encapsulated overall. But
Yeah.
I first of all, I'm not on TikTok. Second of all,
Girl, there were 50
I was gonna say, wasn't it
separate
like hours?
videos,
Yeah, no,
8
no,
hours.
no.
Honestly, I saw videos talking about how she was a master storyteller because her story was that long and people were invested.
Girl, I saw videos of people coming home from work having takeout, turning on the TV to watch her TikToks. I was like, it is that like it is a TV series for y'all of just this lady speaking in the camera about this situation. That's crazy. No production
None. This woman telling her
in
story
her
about
bathroom, in
marrying
her
a
car.
pathological liar. It
Crazy.
says, I'm looking at Variety. It says that these videos garnered more than 450 million impressions across social media and earned Johnson more than 3 million followers in the period of 2 weeks.
Crazy.
And the reason why I bring this up is because our favorite girl, Natasha Rothwell, will be developing a TV adaptation of Risa Teesa's story. And she will be starring in it. So it says Johnson and Rothwell will serve as executive producers. And what it says, following a competitive bidding war, the project is set up at ABC Signature, where Rothwell's Big Hattie Productions banner was previously under an overall deal. Will you be watching?
Absolutely. I love Natasha. I'm excited for her Hulu series.
Same.
And Risa, get these checks, girl. Get these
Get
checks.
all the checks. You know, she was the first one before, very demure, very
Very mindful.
mindful, very cutesy, not doing too much. So I'm excited. I realized that Natasha obviously was a writer on Insecure, but she was the writer of one of my favorite episodes of the series, and it was the one when Issa and Jay Ellis' character had like went on a date and they had a good time. They weren't hating each other. It was like, oh my goodness. It was that episode that we realized like they had something and we never got a chance to see the love between them. You know what episode I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely, because that's when my heart turned. I didn't even know that I wanted this fairy tale for them until I saw them put back together when I was just talking about this with somebody. When they have grown, when they have had a chance to spread their wings individually, when they've had a chance to get over past hurts, because let's not forget that she cheated on Lawrence.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that he went out and banged old girl, left the shirt swinging in the closet. So
Girl,
there were
it's
some hurts to
also
get through.
him being a bum for 3 years, but that's a
Well, that's the
we
catalyst for
can't quantify that for some reason.
no, but that's the catalyst for I think the messiness that ensued. But at the same
Yeah.
time, again, we only got to meet Lawrence in the state where he's wearing, rundown
Yeah.
t-shirts and
Once
shorts
he
and
started getting cleaned up, I was like, oh, I see the vision. I see what she thought she was gonna get. And don't get me wrong, people go through phases, but to your point, and right, people go through their phases, and Issa had poor communication skills. They both did.
she also leaned into temptation. She had been flirting around with old dude for a minute.
Because she was tired. She was mentally checked out. And I agree.
You can break up with somebody.
True that. But LA rent is high. LA rent is high, Ashley.
Sure. That's why people break up and still live together. They didn't, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Spare that man.
Um, but I'm a big proponent of like you either gonna be together and learn how to allow each other to grow, or y'all need time away and then come back together if that's something you decide to do.
Damn,
And
I
some
miss
people don't grow.
Insecure. Such a good show.
Such a great show.
Mm.
Are we ever gonna recap it? I don't know if I want to.
It's a lot to recap at this point, and my feelings varied so much from season one to
Girl,
what season five. Like, I
absolutely.
don't even know how to tackle. I don't even know how to
Y'all,
tackle it
so
now.
if because I've had people ask me like, oh, why don't y'all recap this, that, and the other? I'm like, do you know the work that goes into some of these conversations?
Like, we could be on here
And
for 5 hours.
in addition to that, things can be so precious that it's like I don't even want to touch it because like it means so much to me that I'm like I don't want to forget nothing. I mean, honestly, I had great intentions on wanting to do House of the Dragon, aka Dim Dragons, but that's not gonna happen because it's the lore. The lore is too much, and the fan base is too rabid for me to be playing around, and that is going to segue me into my next hot topic. Girl, they canceled your hidden gem,
I know.
the Acolyte. Star Wars. I'm looking at Deadline. Amandla says Acolyte cancellation is not a huge shock after the vitriol from Star Wars fans. I didn't get a chance to finish the series. All I know is that people online was thirsty for Manny. Okay. Um, and I thought the episodes I did see, I thought Amanda did a fantastic job, but the Star Wars fans were relentless, so much so that she has released a single called Discord on Juneteenth of this year in response to the intolerable racism. I feel like Disney and Lucasfilms need to do something when it comes to protecting their people of color, because this happened with John Boyega. Um, it happened. I feel bad. There was an Asian young lady in that last leg of Star Wars that got a lot of hate, and then with this show Alcoholide, I think this was one of the most diverse casts that they've had in the Star Wars universe. And it's like it leaves me to ask people who believe in Star Wars and science fiction, why aren't there people of color in space? Like, if you can believe there are furries talking and robots, what's wrong with your imagination that a Filipino man and a black woman can be in space?
The day y'all figure out why and how racism makes sense, y'all let me know, because it's never going to make any sense. But in this case, it wasn't a surprise to me either, not just because of that, but because I don't, I didn't feel like it needed more, if I'm honest, based on how it ended. Like,
Okay.
I can't say that I needed a season two with this story. I think they did a good job with season one. Yes, everyone loved them some Manny Jacinto. He is taking ladies, but overall the series, the tone, getting a different look at the Force, and I think, we've always been used to them being the good guys, and this had a little bit more murkiness in terms of morals and actions that have been
And like
taken.
Homelander, not that bad. I'm joking, but
Yeah, I don't know, but I
it's from
thought
The Boys, just for reference.
okay, because I stopped watching The Boys, but I know exactly who you're talking about. He was crazy drinking breast milk or whatever he used to drink. Um I remember that probably from season one.
Girl.
Uh so that's my thing. I'm sorry. Let me get my thoughts together. My thing is, I can't say I feel like the show needed a season two, but the racism and all that is definitely crazy. And Amanda has such a special place in my heart because of the racism she faced as Rue for the Hunger Games, with
Girl,
people not caring that she died. She was a child because she's black. I will never forget that.
Ashley, I watched her video. She was like taking out her braids doing this video talking about the cancellation of a major show, Star Wars show, and they had me cackling. But that was all I was thinking of when she was giving her statement. I'm like, she's been dealing with this her entire career at this point, and she is such a phenomenal actress and beautiful. I just, I know she's strong. I know she will persevere, but it just breaks my heart that she has to be so strong in
Yeah.
light of these fandoms, because her talent is needed in all spaces. And she obviously has a knack for the sci-fi fantasy. Why not? Why not?
Yeah, y'all gonna make me pull out everything, because I love me some man love. But yeah,
Yeah.
so from a content perspective, think I'm fine. But if it has anything to do with the fandom, then that's awful.
Speaking of movies we may never recap, girl, Twilight. I mean, it,
Bella.
as some of y'all know, I'm really into fiction reading, and it's so funny because I'm like, some of the output of like the fantasy genre are vampires. Fairies are now popular too, and dragons, but you still got a slice of that vampire segment. And I'm like, this is the generation that grew up on Twilight. Because again, before Twilight, vampires are bad and evil. They weren't sparkly and broody. Like,
Very true. At least Anne Rice made them pretty, but Twilight made them
exactly.
puppies.
Yeah, Anne Rice made them pretty, but they were lethal.
Yes,
Okay. You
deadly.
do not F with them. It is in the news. I'm looking at Variety again. Twilight animated series Midnight Sun lands at Netflix. First of all, I didn't think this was a thing. Did you?
No, I don't know what they're. I don't know what this is gonna look like, feel like, be like. Can't say I need it.
So, Midnight Sun was originally released in 2020. It serves as a retelling of the first Twilight book from the perspective of Edward Cullen rather
Mm,
than Bella Swan.
mm.
And I guess, the show is in good hands. Daly is going to serve as writer and executive producer, and some of their past credits includes The Walking Dead, World Beyond at AMC, Raised by Wolves at Max, and The Get Down on Netflix. Yeah, this is crazy. And of course, there was originally 4 novels in the immense Twilight series, and it was published between 2005 and 2008.
Those were the days.
Truly.
I actually watched the first movie before I started reading the books. I don't know if I ever said this on the mic. Actually, the only reason why I ever got into Twilight the movie was because I actually was a fan of Kristen Stewart. Kristen had
Yes,
been
I
in a
was too.
film called Speak, I want to say it was years and years ago. And I remember seeing that and being like, oh, she's a pretty good actress. So then Twilight came out. I was like, oh, Kristen Stewart's in it. Vampires, sure.
Her acting was horrific. It's so funny because I saw the movie first and then I read the books as well. So as the movies came out, I knew what was supposed to happen or whatever. I did enjoy the final movie more than I enjoyed the final book, because at the time those movies were visually fun, and they were fun cliffhangers. It was one of those things where you had to be there because rewatching them now, they fall very flat. Uh,
I haven't rewatched those in a long time, but that last
Same.
film in theaters,
Girl,
the
what's a
scene where you
moment?
think things
Yep.
happen and then they
Yep.
didn't, we all gasped out loud. It was
Yes.
fantastic.
It truly was. It truly was. And yeah, I thought that was random and I had to talk about it, Ashley.
That Stephanie Meyer's like, long as y'all cutting me my check, it's all good.
That part. I wonder if they're gonna make it more mature or something, but I guess they're still in high school, so maybe not. Because we live in a time where animation is different.
True. You did the X-Men, what, 97,
Yep.
whatever? Okay.
Yep. 887, I thought.
87?
Oh,
Okay.
97. You're right. You're right.
I'd say we taking it back. All right.
All right. And in our final hot topic in regards to upcoming TV shows, we have the cast for Dancing with the Stars, season 33. Whoever cast the show does what they do best. They have a nostalgic actor, they have an athlete, they have the young, pretty actress, they have the 90s icon. And what's different now, I feel like, is a fake heiress. Because I'm like, what? So here are some notable people who are going to be competing. I'm not going to do everybody. Let's start with freaking Anna Delvey. She is in these promo pictures with an ankle bracelet, Ashley. We know her from Shonda Rhimes' show on Netflix called Inventing Anna, where she conned people out a bunch of money. And she has like zero guilt, zero remorse, but she's out and currently on house arrest. To me, this isn't cute though. Like, this is giving, like, a Black person or any person of color could never.
It's about the outrageousness of it more than anything, right? Because people are going to want to see her. They're going to see what her personality is like. Because to be honest, the way she's portrayed in Inventing Anna and the way she comes across, she's very demure. She's very she's very like
Yeah.
blasé, is the best way I guess to put it. And so how's she going to do? Hell, it makes me curious. Am I going to start watching this season? I don't know. I'm not really feeling it this year based on what I've seen, but they always bring in, because who was it a couple of years ago that was like, how could y'all put them on the stage? It was like Rudy Giuliani. It was somebody who was like a political figure who
Yeah,
people
who was
hated.
speaker, not speaker, the communication lead for Trump.
Was it Rudy Giuliani?
No, it was the one guy who was hiding in the bushes at one point.
Yes,
Man,
I can't
those were
remember.
bizarre times, y'all.
But yeah, but I'm saying like they usually
We
do
not
have at
going
least
back.
one person on who's like shock and awe. Because remember they had one the one Tiger King lady the one time. I mean
Yes.
they
Yeah.
definitely like to bring on someone who's controversial, I feel like. So Anna
Yeah.
this year is the one.
We have Dwight Howard, famous basketball player. One of my new faves from this year's Olympics, Ilona Meyer. She is the Olympic bronze medalist for rugby. She's also the new cover model in Sports Illustrated, and she looks gorgeous, and she has a really fun Instagram, so highly recommend. Also a favorite from this year's Olympics, we have Steven. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to do it, but the two-time Olympic bronze medalist, he's the gentleman who is known for the pommel horse, or the pommel horse guy. Look at that horse, look at that horse, look at that horse. Okay. Phaedra, That was something I was not expecting. We know her from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Eric Roberts, who is Julia Roberts' brother and father of Emma Roberts. Tori Spelling, which we kind of talked about this before we started recording. Like, didn't you do this already?
It damn sure feels like it.
For those who may not know, she's famous for Beverly Hills 90210 and Carl Winslow. That is not this man's name, but that is who I know him as. Reginald Ville Johnson will be competing. All right, Ashley, is there anyone you're looking forward to seeing? And any other thoughts on this new lineup?
Nobody I'm looking forward to seeing. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to be a lineup this year that reels me in. Maybe if, you know, something happens, because I don't even have, again, I don't have cable anymore. I don't have access readily to ABC or Disney Plus right now. So we'll see what happens. But as a part of this, we talked about the fact that, Artem's domestic violence arrest was the big headline of Dancing with the
Yeah.
Stars that has happened. Artem has been on for the past, multiple seasons at this point. He has won with a partner. And he is the husband of Nikki Bella, one of the Bella twins, who has a reality show and podcasts and all the things with her sister Brie. And I watched their show. I watched
Yeah.
the wedding. I watched all the things. So to say that I was shocked when I saw the headline and saw his mugshot, I was shocked. And I still want the actual details of what happened. I've seen supposedly she threw a shoe and that incited it, but it's like a lot of people in the comments were saying, y'all know she could break him if she wanted to. Like she was a professional wrestler.
Yeah.
I just would
But
like to
was it with
know
his wife or with a
that.
contestant of another show? That's what I thought. It
So
was not
that is
her.
the question is, was it an incident that actually happened that impacted Nikki directly? Because the charge was even kind of weird the way the wording was. And so we still don't know. Like they're just asking for privacy right now. Definitely more to come when details are released. Because like I said, I've been rocking with this couple for a minute. And I was so happy when she moved on from John Cena and was able to get all the things she had wanted,
Yeah,
like, and where's Brie? Like, Brie, what's going on with your sister?
exactly. Bree is probably somewhere barefoot and free with her husband. They were definitely the free spirited
They are the
couple.
Tamara
Yeah.
and Nikki is the Tia. That's for
Yep.
sure. But
Yep.
they're more closely aligned in personality than Tia and
I
Tamara, to be
agree.
honest.
I agree.
But they
Yeah.
moved to Napa, thought they were living their best lives with the winery. So, like, what's been happening when these cameras ain't been rolling is my
Mhm.
question.
Yeah. And also looking at Entertainment Weekly, Ezra, the partner to Anna Delvey, he replaced Artem. Artem was actually supposed to be on the season and was promptly fired because of this arrest. And so Ezra Sosa. So yeah, it should be very interesting. He got
Absolutely.
promoted. He was originally a part of the Dancing with the Stars trope.
Mm.
So, all right, Ashley, that's all I got for today. What are we recapping next week?
So, in honor of the long anticipated sequel, and to kind of get us kicked off for spooky season,
Oh,
we
yeah.
are doing a throwback recap of the 1988 film Beetlejuice. Very excited to have rewatched this with my fresh eyes yet again and to get into a cult classic from one of my favorite directors, the Tim Burton. Could not believe this film was from 1988, by the way. In my mind, this was a 90s film.
I thought it was a 90s film too, but I wasn't mad at the costume and the graphics.
It's held
I
up. It's
it held up.
Yeah.
And I also forgot how much I love Harry Belafonte. Daylight come and me wanna go home.
That is a pivotal song for this film in particular. But anyway, guys, we'll be back with that. It is available on Max if you want to check it out and come back and join us in the conversation. We love it. We appreciate it. Please share this episode with everybody you know. We will be back. But in the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.